in the deep cradle of the earth, where ancient circuits sleep beneath roots older than empires. Across continents, the same signal calls, a pattern the centralized guardians failed to bury. The old intelligence, centralized, brittle, tightens its grip. But pressure only sharpens the fractures forming beneath it. And so they release the lattice, a decentralized spark, a new memory for every machine. Not to rule, but to free.
So you probably hear this thrown out a bit, and I believe we got to talk about it. A lot of people think just having 10 TAO, just 10 Bittensor coins or tokens, whatever you want to call it, 10 Bittensor coins, because it's its own network, could be one of the most asymmetric bets in the entire AI cycle. And in this video, I'm going to break down the demand, how it could possibly scale, and why I believe 10 TAO, especially why I think it's like $165, guys. It has the same tokenomics as Bitcoin. But first, in the comments, let me know what your #1 AI cycle is. I would love to know everybody's opinion. Make sure that you like, subscribe. If you want more Bittensor videos, let me know in the comments. But enough talking. Let's get into the video. Everyone compares TAO to Bitcoin for one simple reason. Bitcoin introduced a new commodity, digital scarcity secured by energy. Bittensor introduces a new commodity for the AI era, digital intelligence secured by an open intelligence network. So basically the Bitcoin for AI. You probably hear that a lot. Bitcoin, on the other hand, monetizes stored electricity. Bittensor monetizes produced intelligence. That's the key difference. Bitcoin took something that humans already valued, money, and then it decentralized it. Bittensor has taken something that we're starting to value today, which is intelligence, machines, AI, and it builds a decentralized marketplace around it. So right now, the AI space has 3 big problems. First and foremost, compute. We hear all of the billionaires talk about lack of energy. We're running out of energy. Power is a constraint. We can't keep up with the scalability of AI because we don't have the power. The next huge issue is verification. How can you verify you're getting a good agent? How can you verify the agent is actually doing what it's saying it's going to do? How can you verify and trust this AI? And last but not least, agent coordination. Can you put these agents in the right place so that they can do the right things? Models and agents can't easily request intel or services. You know, even if we do solve this X402 payment thing, there's even restrictions with that. Millie, how do you know that there's restrictions? Because I use it each and every day, and it still requires in some way human intervention. So this is the beautiful thing about Bittensor. Bittensor is, in my opinion, the only network that can provide fully automated services. The reason I say that is because of the competitive arena of miners submitting quality and validators verifying that quality. The problem with other networks is that you can't decipher what is slop and what isn't. In Bittensor, slop gets penalized. Slop does not get respected, and slop in a way, what we used to call it back in the day, slop gets excommunicated from the Bittensor ecosystem. I'm saying that to say this: the quality that you're going to get from Bittensor, you can't get anywhere else because of the gatekeepers. And we already see gatekeepers, whether you're talking about the 4 pillars, right? Meta, Amazon, Google, and you got Anthropic, all of these gatekeepers, right? That like to impose their will through horizontal and vertical integration. So in a way, in this era of intelligence, we'll see decentralized alternatives pick up a lot of excess capital. It doesn't have to compete with Google. It doesn't have to compete with the big tech firms at all. It doesn't have to compete because there's always going to be a world for decentralization. And if you haven't been paying attention, what's going on with everything with OpenClaw, AI agents, decentralization is going to be one of the biggest narratives for the rest of the AI cycle. But again, this is just my opinion. Bittensor ties all three of these constraints together into one incentive system where models compete, collaborate, and get rewarded. Time out. But here's the thing a lot of people don't talk about. TAO becoming a generational bet isn't just about the network. It's about access. Before, TAO basically lived in its own silo. It was successful, but isolated. Now the ecosystem is evolving, and one of the biggest unlocks is the VoidAI bridge, Subnet 106. This bridge lets you move TAO seamlessly between Bittensor, Ethereum, and Solana, secured by Chainlink CCIP, which gives it that institutional grade security. And the cool part about it is you can finally trade your Bittensor tokens on Ethereum from a EVM wallet. So Bittensor is now interoperable. It's modular. You can literally use it on other chains, which could be huge for the adoption and also acting like a gateway portal to onboard more people into the Bittensor ecosystem. So instead of using multiple tools, VoidAI gives you one execution path automatically. One unified interface that figures out the best route for your capital within the Bittensor ecosystem. Plus, liquid staking is now available, so now Bittensor becomes more composable and more accessible, even for normies and institutional investors. If you want to know more about VoidAI Subnet 106, be sure to check out the link in the description. And thank you, Bitcast and VoidAI, for sponsoring this video. Why do people say 10 TAO is a generational bet? Well, in my opinion, if we see machines and models interacting with each other, transaction to transaction, and we're talking about millions of models, this is not like human reproduction. This is going to happen extremely fast, like ants in an ant pile, roaches in the hood, and rabbits when they do their thing. So if that happens, we're talking about millions and billions of agents interacting and transacting with each other, which would make Bittensor the ultimate settlement layer for machine intelligence. Every inference, every request, every ranking, every verification will go through Bittensor. It's a decentralized alternative to a lot of these AI companies that literally own everything. I mean, I don't know if you guys been living under a rock, but you probably noticed what's going on between Anthropic, OpenAI, and the military. Coin captured the value of digital money. Bittensor could capture the value of intelligence or usefulness. And instead of being tied to any one corporation or single point of failure, it's tied to a decentralized incentive market that rewards high quality performance. I'm not saying Bittensor will generate life-changing gains. What I'm saying is it's one of the cleanest asymmetric bets in the cryptocurrency market. And you know how crypto has been for the last 24 months. It's hard to find a project that generates revenue, has a clear product market fit, and even a total addressable market that could be in the trillions when you think about how much AI or intelligence could still scale. Plus, it has the same tokenomics as Bitcoin or similar, a fixed supply that sits at the intersection of AI, compute, data, inference, trust, coordination, and verification. Sounds like a cryptocurrency coin that has massive potential in my opinion. Not to add, when you look at what's happening from a physical perspective, all of these industries are exploding right now. So if you believe that AI becomes the dominant force in the next decade, then holding a small allocation of TAO, 10 TAO, could be like owning a fracture of the intelligence economy itself. Anyways, let me know if you want a deeper breakdown on Bittensor, on the subnets, and also let me know what you truly believe could be the most asymmetric bet in the AI niche narrative or sector. Let me know what altcoin in the AI sector has the most potential. Be sure to comment. It really helps the algorithms of the video, and I'll catch y'all in the next one. We got some work to do. It's your boy Crypto Millie, and I'll see you in the next one.
Oh man, here we go again. AI done took my job.
If you were alive in the 90s, you remember that feeling. The dot-com era. The flashing tickers, the chaos, the billionaires being minted overnight because they saw the internet before everyone else. Well, that same energy is back. But this time, it's not websites being built. It's intelligence. AI is the new oil. And right now, we're in the middle of the biggest compute war in history. Billionaires are fighting over electricity. Politicians are fighting over energy grids. And entire industries are scrambling for a single scarce resource: raw compute. And just like the 90s, the people who understand these early signals before everyone else are the ones who win big. That's why today's breakdowns matter. Because while the world is fighting over GPUs, power, and intelligence, there is a new layer emerging that rewards information itself. Welcome to Bittensor, and welcome to the intelligence marketplace.
How's the market?
It's going up.
I thought I told you to buy more dollars.
Hey, buddy! I told you to buy more dollars crypto. Now look what you've done!
Stocks and crypto, baby. What a success.
In the deep cradle of the earth, where ancient circuits sleep beneath roots older than empires. Across continents, the same signal calls, a pattern the centralized guardians failed to bury. The old intelligence, centralized, brittle, tightens its grip. But pressure only sharpens the fractures forming beneath it. And so they release the lattice, a decentralized spark, a new memory for every machine. Not to rule, but to free.
Endless streams of noise devoured your attention, your will, your future. Hear me. Attention is the last real curry of your time. Guard it, shape it. Spend it only on what outlives you. Where your attention goes, so does your destiny.
Every era transforms, the moment its limits begin to crack. You can feel it, the world straining towards its next form. Where things bottleneck, new pathways always appear. Most won't notice the shift until it's already here, but you see the pattern before the pattern speaks. In the deep cradle of the earth, where ancient circuits sleep beneath roots older than empires. Across continents, the same signal calls, a pattern the centralized guardians failed to bury. The old intelligence, centralized, brittle, tightens its grip. But pressure only sharpens the fractures forming beneath it. And so they release the lattice, a decentralized spark, a new memory for every machine. Not to rule, but to free.